Hi, my name is Emma and I work here at the Louisiana State University Museum of Natural Science. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the importance of biodiversity in Louisiana's wetlands. To begin, I'm going to introduce one of the most important aspects of our museum, animal specimen. An animal specimen is an animal that was once alive and is now preserved to be studied for science. So if this might make you or your child uncomfortable, this may not be the video for you. For everyone else, let's go explore. Today I'm going to be joined by Pam Hart. Pam is one of our own scientists here at Louisiana State University, and she studies fish at the museum. Pam's going to be helping me explain some awesome science. So over to you, Pam.
Thank you, Emma. Hi everyone, my name is Pam, and today I wanted to introduce a couple of words to you that we are going to be using. Our first and most important word is biodiversity. Biodiversity comes from biological diversity. Smash them together and you get biodiversity. This is all of the different kinds of life that live in one system. So kind of like a pond, all of the plants, animals, micro or tiny organisms, all of them together make up that pond's biodiversity. There are lots of different kinds of biodiversity, but today we are going to be talking about ecosystem biodiversity, which brings us to our next word. Ecosystems are all of the plants and animals that live in one specific area and how they interact with one another. Kind of like how you interact with the members of your household or other kids in a classroom. One example of a natural ecosystem is a wetland. Our last word, wetland, is an area that is almost completely covered with water. This specific amount of water makes wetlands a special ecosystem called a biological supersystem. This means that they produce lots of food and support lots of different plants and animals.
Thanks, Pam. And now that we know a few important words, let's look at two important animals and how they help their ecosystem. Up first is the diamondback terrapin. Diamondback terrapins are amazing swimmers, which you can tell by looking at their webbed feet. It is a little bit different than the flipper of a sea turtle. You can also see how they get their name when you look at their shell and see the diamond pattern. Now let's go back over to Pam to find out why these little guys aren't just cute, but important for their ecosystem.
The diamondback terrapin eats periwinkle snails. If this snail has nothing eating it and keeping its population down, scientists have shown that periwinkle snails can convert productive grasslands into barren mudflats in just 8 months. That is why diamondback terrapins are so important in our wetlands in Louisiana. They also love to eat dead and decaying material found at the bottom of swamps, which helps keep the water clean.
Our next important animal is the American alligator. There are many scientists that like to track how animals sort of move and grow, and they do this by putting a tag on them, which you can actually see here, these little blue beads. It doesn't hurt the animal, it just helps identify them. The American alligator is the largest reptile in North America, with females or girls growing to be 9 feet long and weighing 300 pounds, and males or boys growing to be 13 feet long and weighing about 500 pounds, which is huge. This little guy isn't actually full grown, he's only about 3 feet. Now let's go over to Pam to find out why these little critters aren't just super cool, but also important to their ecosystems. Over to you, Pam.
Alligators are an important part in maintaining the biodiversity of an ecosystem. They are at the top of the food chain and are known as apex predators because they eat many different animals, but there is nothing that eats them. Alligators also dig holes that create small habitats in the marsh mud that help for fish habitats, but also for other animals like crawdads, like you might eat at a crawfish boil. Wetlands are one of the fastest disappearing ecosystems on our planet. We've lost about 35% of the United States wetlands in the past 50 years. Humans moving into the animals' habitats has decreased biodiversity. Let's look at 2 ways you can help. First, you can use less water. When you use less water, you keep the rivers and lakes full, which reduces strains on the wetlands. You can do this by turning off the water while you're brushing your teeth and making sure that your faucets are not leaking. You should also be careful of how you throw away any household products. Many products under your kitchen sink or in your garage can harm the wetlands. The water that goes down our sewer system can end up directly in our wetlands. Never pour paints, preservative, brush cleaners, or solvents down a drain. Sewer or septic tanks do not treat these materials.
And if you'd like to learn more, please check out Our Planet, available on Netflix. It's made by the World Wildlife Federation. Or if you'd like to learn more about any of these animals or other ecosystems, stop by the Louisiana State University Museum of Natural Science when we're open again. Admission is always free. We hope to see you soon. Thank you.